to discuss, obviously, first of all, to pay our condolences, express our feeling and solidarity with the people of Manchester, as well as actually we reminding again our imams that we must actually address the young people in this country. And Alhamdulillah, they're doing it very nicely and very well. But actually, just a reminder as well, and there are a couple of other issues, but the prime and main purpose is that we are getting together, that we express our solidarity. Also, Friday's khutbahs, we request all the imams to be concentrated on this, to remind the young people and particularly the parents and the wider, Muslim communities that they must remain vigilant. It's the safety and security of everyone. And all these people, they are committing these atrocities. They are the enemies of everyone. They don't look for Muslim or non-Muslim. They're killing more Muslims in the Muslim countries rather than non-Muslims in the non-Muslim countries. But it is very important that we are safer and other people are safer as well from them.
Okay. Jazakallah khair, Imam Qari Muhammad Ismail sir, for taking time and being part of the show. Inshallah, we'll speak to you again, inshallah. Jazakallah khair.
Thank you.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Up until that time, let's have a listen to Qasida Burda Sharif. Inshallah, I'm sure you'll enjoy listening to this.
مولاي صل وسلم دائما أبدا على
Qasida Burda Sharif. And as promised, we have got a special guest with ourselves on phone line as well. Shaida Siddiq, CEO of Faith Star. She was at the vigil yesterday, so we'll be talking to her about the event as well that happened in Peace Gardens yesterday, and talk to her more about and find out her views on this tragic incident. So without any further ado, let's welcome Shaida Siddiq, CEO of Faith Star, to our show. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Wa alaikum salam.
How are you, Shaida? You okay?
I'm fine, thank you.
Jazakallah khair for taking time out and being with ourselves. First of all, we would like to find out about the vigil which happened in Peace Gardens yesterday. Tell us a bit about that.
Mashallah, the vigil in the Peace Gardens yesterday was a really dignified event. It was organised by the Lord Mayor's office at the Sheffield City Council at very, very short notice. My organisation ourselves, we managed to get all the faith leaders that were able to get there at quite short notice. So amazingly, there were people there waiting an hour before, and right across the political spectrum, different cultures, different people, different faiths, lots of people there in solidarity and unity.
Okay. And also tell us a bit about your organisation, because you are Chief Executive of Faith Star. So what does your organisation do before we ask you your views on this tragic incident?
So our organisation, we're the faith management organisation for our region. So, for example, the faith leaders statement that went out during the day, we got approval and signatories from all of the faith leaders and faith representatives of the different faith communities across our region. So I personally wrote the statement that went out. And really, it's just to act promptly and to give a quick response, because we sort of act as a central point of contact for people in that sense. We will pull the statement together, make sure that the various faith leaders support that statement, have approved that. Some people may wish to amend it slightly or express things in a different way, but it's really just as a central point to be able to pull people together very quickly. We then also follow and enable people to follow protocols, so who needs to be where. Unfortunately, if people aren't able to be somewhere to give on their behalf apologies or express condolences and so on and so forth. So really, as an organisation, we have a central point of contact, as a central point of contact, not only for the faith leaders, but also for public sector bodies, civic leaders and others who want to reach out to faith leaders and faith communities and say, okay, we need to get people together really quickly. These are the people. So we act as that central point of contact, and people will come to us first and say, Shaida, you need to get X, Y, and Z people to X, Y, Z location, because this is what's happening. So over the last 4 or 5 years, any major incidents that have happened nationally or internationally, somewhere in the background we will have been helping to organise and support the faith leaders to be where they need to be.
Okay, and what were the feelings of people in the event yesterday after this tragic incident? Because obviously it was just after one evening, obviously when people gathered from all around Sheffield and Rotherham. What were people's feelings when you went around, and particularly the speakers as well, and the key messages from the speakers who spoke up?
I think there was a real sense that people wanted to stand in solidarity with Manchester. So when it became apparent that Manchester were going to hold their vigil at 6 o'clock, it was felt really strongly that Sheffield needed to stand in unity and express that with them. Sort of at the same time. So at 6 o'clock they had the minute silence, and then the Lord Mayor, the leader of the council, and then respected faith leaders came and spoke. And I think that was really important, that sense of giving people that space to come together. It gave people an opportunity from all faiths and non-faiths as well, an opportunity to come and express their sympathies, their condolences. But I think more importantly, at tragic times like this, it brings out, I think, that, at times the worst in people, but at times the best in people. And I think one of the great things about Sheffield is that, when we have something like this happens, there's a real sense of people wanting to come together. People, when you looked at the vigil and, the diversity and depth of people there, it was really important for people to see each other, reach out and go, this doesn't define us, this doesn't defeat us. And I think that was really important, because that message of solidarity and unity is also really important for minority communities as well. So for example, you know, for the Muslim community, it's really important. And, you know, mashallah, there were so many members of the Muslim community there at the vigil event yesterday. And that sends a really, really important message. And it's not just a message of unity, but, you know, what makes me proud of our community here in Sheffield and across the region is that, you know, we're able to stand there and say, these horrible attacks, these horrible incidents, they don't define our faith, they don't define us. And, you know, I've seen so many acts of kindness and courage, not just from, you know, the wider community, but from within the Muslim community as well. And I think it's at times like this that, you know, we have an opportunity to show what is the best about us, what makes, you know, and an opportunity to express the beauty of our faith. And so I think, you know, being at the vigil was really important to show that solidarity. And I think, you know, sadly, it's sometimes in tragic circumstances, but then at times, you know, times of celebration and times of hope, we should also do that more as well, I think.
Okay, and finally, Shahida, what message would you like to give out to the community, particularly the Muslim community and the wider community as well?
I think the first thing I'd like to say to our own Muslim community is it's so important to stay strong, stay together, be vigilant, look out for each other. And I know that at times like this, at tragic times like this, you know, the first few days, the first couple of weeks, everything feels very, very fraught, and, you know, it can seem quite tense. But actually, this is your opportunity to show the best of what it means to be a Muslim. And I know that, you know, mashallah, the Muslim community here and around the region, they do that anyway. But I think it's even more important to have sabr, be patient, show that kindness, and, you know, just to make sure that actually when you're out and about, when you're dealing with a wider community, that you know, it's about showing your own humanity, and I think that's really important. And I think for the wider community, I just first of all like to express my condolences to Kelly Brewster's family. She's a young Sheffield lady who passed away, who unfortunately lost her life there. And so, you know, when an attack like this happens in Manchester, you know, and it gets closer to home, when somebody loses their life or when somebody's injured, you know, these are local people. These are people that you might go to work with, that you might go to school with, you know, and I think that's the most important thing, that it doesn't matter what your faith background is, it doesn't matter who you are, but actually if it's somebody who shares your city, you know, they are a local person to you, and I think that's really important, that as the wider community and the Muslim community, I don't think it should be us and them, you know, not wider community or Muslim community. We are Muslim people living in Sheffield. So for me, we're Sheffield people, and I think that's the thing that we should always remember.
Okay, thank you very much, Shahida Siddiq, for taking time out and being part of the show, and for presenting your views for us and for our listeners as well. Jazakallah khair.
Jazakallah.
Okay, assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah. So that was Shahida Siddiq, CEO of Faith Star, giving her views and a message to the community as well. Talking about the vigil which happened in Sheffield Peace Gardens yesterday. At the same time, there was a vigil in Manchester. So Sheffield decided to stand up and show solidarity towards those who have been victimized. You are listening to Drive Time Show with your host Hafiz Anwaar. If you would like to have your say on this incident, call us on 00114 242 5200. Or you can WhatsApp us on 0788 5599 786. Inshallah, we're coming very close towards our second commercial break of today's Drive Time Show. When we come back from the break and news break, we'll look at some more headlines from BBC and stories from Sheffield Star. Competition question is, how many angles are there in a triangle? So for a few entries, all thinking the answer is 3. So how many angles are there in a triangle? Send us your answer via WhatsApp 0788 5599 786.
Sponsored by
Halal Subway at Parkgate, Retail Park, Rotherham. Whether you're vegetarian or like meat, loads of low-fat sandwiches for you, and yes, all halal. 36 seated restaurants. We provide catering for birthday parties and office meetings. Have the sandwiches your way at Subway. Subway Halal at Stadium Way, Parkgate, Retail Park, Rotherham. Come to Subway. Come to Subway.